Yeah.
Something you don't think about because conditions are so dry.
That's
When are we
right.
going to get some rain, Linz?
Looks like tomorrow,
Okay.
and it depends on where you are. We could get a significant amount of rain with some thunderstorms. So good on the rain, not so good on the fact that we could get some hail and some damaging winds to go along with it. So let's start with just all of the things that could impact us over the next couple of days here. We'll start with that drought monitor. So every week we get a new updated outlook, and at this point, the latest shows us that we are now entering into a severe drought across the north and the northwestern tier of the state, closer to Lafayette, where you see this darker orange color. So that's where we see the highest deficit as far as a lack of rainfall. Farther south we go, we did get a good soaking rain last week for a couple of days, so that did limit the overall dryness to the ground from Richmond down to Shelbyville. So that's why we did see some improvements, but still this yellow indicates that we are abnormally dry at this point in the season. We compare this to where we are so far for the month, only picked up 3/4 of an inch so far here in Indy, so that puts us in a 3-inch deficit. And when we factor that into the annual rainfall so far, still just over 3.5 inches, but a lot of that has come within the past couple of months. So all of the rain that we could possibly get, we will take. In addition to the lack of rainfall that we've had, also some poor air quality. And once again for today, we've got this air quality alert, an ozone action day, if you will, that will be in effect throughout central Indiana. So if you do belong to one of those sensitive groups, asthma, COPD, breathing issues, might be one of those days where you take some time inside and avoid being outdoors during the peak heating of the afternoon. We'll go through the next several hours. Temperatures going to start us off in the 60s and eventually really heating things up with a mostly sunny sky. We will approach that 90-degree mark later today here in the Indy Metro. We've got temperatures that will range from near 88 for our friends up in Muncie to about 86 in Richmond, low 90s across the southern half of the state. And then even into the evening tonight, we're going to keep things mainly quiet with some increasing clouds late and rather warm as we fall back through the 70s and eventually the 80s here. So let's walk you through the timeline as far as that increasing chance that we could see some stronger storms. This is going to be for Sunday afternoon. We will see a couple of waves of storms, but this that the Storm Prediction Center is watching is going to be for Sunday afternoon. It really does include most of central and especially eastern Indiana. That's a level 2 of 5, by the way. And more so, we're watching the potential of some large hail developing with the type of atmosphere we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. We could see some very tall storm clouds. Those are conducive of promoting hail development. So we'll watch that as we get into our Sunday afternoon. Wanted to first pause here around midnight as the first wave is going to move in. Moves in from west to east with some scattered showers, thunderstorms during the overnight. This will put us into Sunday morning at 7 a.m. And then we've got a lot of dry time into Sunday afternoon. Pausing here around the 4 o'clock hour because this is that primary time frame that we'll start to see some of these isolated storm cells popping back up. So really after 4 p.m., this is when we need to stay weather aware for our Sunday. That chance of strong to severe weather will continue through about 8 p.m. Once the sun starts to go down, we'll lose a lot of that atmospheric momentum as the cold front also starts to push off to the east. And then we get into our Monday. Severe threat comes to an end, but we're going to keep at least a chance for a few of these spotty showers around for our Monday. So 82, much cooler behind that 92 on Sunday with that chance of an isolated shower continuing into Tuesday. We will see that cooler weather as we get into the middle part of the week, and then we're right back into the 80s and approaching 90 by late next week.
All right, Lindsay, keeping an eye on that severe weather threat. Thank you.